When we talk about breastfeeding, it usually revolves around the newborn. This video is about nursing the older baby, 6 months and beyond. The minute your baby consumes anything besides your breast milk, the weaning process has begun, which I know is sad because I want him to breastfeed forever, but it's true. And so I started looking online, trying to understand how much food should I be feeding Griffin, how much should he be nursing, and there really wasn't a lot of great information online. So what I've learned through the whole process, we've kind of muddled through it together, is really just trust yourself and trust your baby. He or she will lead you into the right way. Griffin really didn't get into food until he was 1 year old. And at first I really loved it because the baby weight came off like crazy. In fact, I'm 5 pounds thinner than I was before I got pregnant because he was consuming so much breast milk at that time. But then I started to get kind of concerned because at 11 months, he really wasn't eating that much. He was probably getting 70% of his calories from me. And I was like, gosh, is he ever gonna eat? Well, sure enough, right at a year, something just clicked and he got into the food. So he still continued to nurse just as frequently, but he wouldn't drink as much. Well, then at 14 months old, Mike and I worked with Griffin to get him to sleep through the night, which was absolutely miraculous, and that could be a whole separate video. But once he did start sleeping through the night, he dropped those 2 nighttime feedings, so then he went down to 3 times a day, and that's where he's currently at 16 months. So he nurses first thing right when he wakes up, and then he nurses 1 time for his nap, which is midday, and then 1 time before he goes to bed. So from a mama's perspective, it's super awesome. I have so much freedom. I mean, I go 5-6 hours during the day without having to worry about nursing or pumping, and then at night I go 12 or 13 hours. So it's been phenomenal. In terms of food, he's doing great. He's mostly eating fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. He loves yogurt and cottage cheese and soft cheeses. Still not really into grains. I will do oatmeal and rice occasionally, but I really puree it. And he's not so much into meat. I haven't supplemented at all with any goat's milk or cow's milk because I really don't need to. He's still getting probably 16 to 20 ounces from me, and that's great. So there you have it, mamas. I think, in retrospect, the reason why there really isn't that much literature out there is because it varies so much from mom to mom. I know some women that are co-sleeping that are still nursing 5 or 6 times a day, or even more because they're doing a lot of nighttime feedings and stuff like that. I know other mamas who have a baby Griffin's age and they are down to 2 feedings a day. And some babies even wean themselves even though the mama doesn't want it. So it's really such an individual process. That's why we need to talk about it. So we'd love to hear from you. What's your journey been like? Share it with us in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in.